Hello, everybody, and welcome to race number 4 of the NASCAR Walmart Cup Series Season 1 schedule. We are going to be going night racing at Atlanta Motor Speedway, one of the fastest tracks in the schedule, and possibly the fastest mile-and-a-half track we're going to be going to this year. And this race should be intense as all hell breaks loose. I've done some tests on this track. They can go 4 wide, and somehow, and sometimes they can keep it together and keep the cars going. But nonetheless, this race should be very, very exciting. As hello, I am Levi McIntyre, aka ThrashManiac99, welcoming you to Atlanta Motor Speedway. Now we are gonna, excuse me, sorry I had to burp there, But now we're going to go ahead and take a look at the starting lineup. And just give me just a second. I had to take a drink of water there, but anyway, so starting on the pole is going to be the 16 of Charles Jackson. The last 2 races have not been very good for Charles Jackson. After finishing 10th place in the Daytona 500, he has struggled, and I believe he's fallen to the 33rd position in points. So he desperately needs to get himself a good run to rebound and get himself back up around the top 10 in points, because hell, from 6th down to about 34th is only separated by like 21 points. So it's very, very close for a lot of these drivers. They can go from top 10 to the top 20 to like 35th. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting fight for position and points as well as position on the track. Charles Jackson, hopefully he can get a good run and get himself around the top 20. Starting second is going to be the guy who comes in 41st in the point standings, Danny Wells in the 29. Last 3 races, he has had a good car. It's just unfortunate circumstances have gotten him poor finishes, and he's not been able to capitalize a finish in the race. Hopefully today will be the day for Danny Wells to get himself a good run, as he will start second. Starting in third is going to be the 48 of Austin LaPlante. Now, Austin LaPlante needs to get himself a good run after the bad luck he had back at Las Vegas last week. Atlanta's always a good track for drivers to get their rebounds going. He's going to start third, Austin LaPlante. Starting next to him is his teammate in the 24, the winner of Las Vegas, and second in points, only behind by about 3 points, is Chris Washer. Keep an eye out for this guy. He can go 2 in a row, possibly. Starting in the top 5, starting 5th place, is going to be the 11 of Jessica Shelton. She had a great run of 5th place last week at Las Vegas. I believe it was 5th place. And she can possibly get another good run and get herself up higher in the point standings. After the first 2 races of the year, she didn't finish all that well. Last week, having a good, solid top 5 run, she can get herself up into the top 5 in points, possibly, if she can come away with a top 5 or maybe even a win. Oh, I missed a button. And then starting 6th is going to be the 31 of Dylan Poteet. Now, this is going to be the last race Dylan Poteet's going to run in that 31 car, as he will actually be leaving the series after this race. So this is going to be his farewell race for the season here in the Walmart Cup Series, as I'm going to announce the driver to take over the 31 for the rest of the year, and it's going to be, well, I'm actually not going to tell you. We're going to keep that a surprise. But after this race, Dylan Poteet will not be in the 31 car anymore after this race. So hopefully for his farewell race, he can get a good finish, maybe even a win. And hopefully he'll return for Season 2. We'll see, but this is going to be Dylan Poteet's farewell race in that 31. Starting in 7th is going to be the 21 of Chris Oliver. And hopefully maybe he can get himself a second win of the year and possibly get himself maybe even to the points lead if possible if he can win this race, but we'll see how he will perform. Starting in 8th is going to be the 22 of Ian Siegel. 9th is going to be the 88 of Cole Daly. Rounding out the top 10 is the points leader in the 18 of Charlie Rodriguez. 11th is going to be Dylan Young. 12th, Cody Hagan. 13th, Austin Weiner. 14th, Cody Lamas. 15th, Barney Taylor. 16th, Trent Dunham. 17th, Kyle Matthews. 18th, Matt McIntyre. 19th, Eric Burden. And rounding out the top 20 is going to be Nick Smith. 21st is going to be Tommy Mooney. 22nd, Ian Dutta. 23rd, Cameron Bailey. 24th, Seth Cole. 25th, Noah Hart. 26th, Daniel Day. 27th, Michael Norman. 28th, Carlos Rodriguez. 29th, Henry Nova. And rounding out the top 30 is going to be Sonny Hammond. 31st is going to be Chris Michaels. 32nd is Chris Dollarton. 33rd is going to be David Rivera. 34th, Nathan Hudson. 35th, Zachary Fitzwater. 36th, Dylan Thero. 37th, Henrietta Fitzwater. 38th, Ibrahim. 39th, Rue McIntyre. Rounding out the top 40 is going to be Chris Nelson. And then the last row is going to be Jordan Culp and Joshua Michaels. As that is a look at your starting lineup. And now we are going to go racing when they come to the stripe. So as you look at that front row with Charles Jackson and Danny Wells, both of those cars need to get good runs. If I wanted to pick somebody over somebody else to get a good run, I would hope to see Danny Wells get a good run. After the last 3 races, he's been having to retire due to unfortunate circumstances. Hell, it was back at Las Vegas. He had a winning car. He just got involved in an incident on pit road with Austin LaPlante. And now here they come to the stripe. Here we go. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys and girls. Charles Jackson got a decent jump on that start. And Austin LaPlante's actually pushing him through the turn. I'm surprised they haven't crashed. And now here comes Austin LaPlante to the inside as Charles Jackson moves up high to block Danny Wells. And now here comes Austin LaPlante. And he's got Jessica Shelton right behind him. Man, this is going to be an interesting battle. Now Jessica Shelton going to the inside. Well, falls behind Austin LaPlante. Austin LaPlante is going to lead that first lap. Wow, we almost saw a 4-wide battle for 3rd place right there. That was a close call. And we are still clean and green. Austin LaPlante definitely wants to get a win this season after he's had good cars the last 3 races. He just hasn't been able to capitalize on a good finish. And look who's lurking in from behind. The 11 of Jessica Shelton. She could possibly get herself a win. But this is lap 3 of 33. We still have a long ways away to go in this race. And Jessica Shelton coming to the inside. Can she get the lead from Austin LaPlante this lap? Well, that was close. But we are actually 30 laps to go here in the Golden Corral 500 here in Atlanta. And now Jessica Shelton's going to take the lead from Austin LaPlante. And Danny Wells is lurking his way into this battle, as too is Cole Daly. And look who's right there in 5th. Austin Weiner. He started 13th. He's already up in the top 5, but now he's under pressure from Cody Hagan. And now Austin LaPlante's coming back to the inside, and Danny Wells is coming in. So is Austin Weiner, Cole Daly. I believe the caution is out. Yes, the smoke. See who was involved in this. Well, Jordan Culp's back here, but I don't see any damage. I'm not sure as to what happened. I know drivers are going to make pit stops. Drivers are making pit stops. I believe there's going to be a couple guys who are going to roll the dice and stay out. Tommy Mooney's one of them. Chris Oliver is another. We're going to try to look up here on this pit road to see if anybody's sitting on pit road with damage. I don't see anybody who had a crash or anything. Let's just keep an eye out here. Doesn't look like anybody's crashed, so I'm not sure as to why the caution came out. But nonetheless, we have pit stops happening. Austin LaPlante's going to go with fuel only. A bunch of drivers are going fuel only, so it looks like it's going to be Austin LaPlante in the lead, or he's going to restart third, as I believe a couple cars decided to stay out. Then Cole Daly came out second out of pit road. Then Cody Hagan, Austin Weiner, and Jessica Shelton. Then Eric Burton, Dylan Poteet, Cameron Bailey, Kyle Matthews, and Michael Norman. Oh, we had a lot of drivers stay out. So the lead is going to cycle over to the 33 of Tommy Mooney, then Chris Oliver, Noah Hart, and Chris Nelson. Those are the drivers who decided to stay out for maybe possible pit strategy with these guys. Maybe it can work in their favor. We don't know. I'm guessing Jordan Culp was probably the driver responsible for the caution because he's still back here. Now he's finally caught up to the pack. But nonetheless, we're going to take a look at a replay to try to find out what happened that brought out the caution here for the first time here in Atlanta Motor Speedway. Well, here's a look at what happened. They were 4 wide back here between Zachary Fitzwater, Daniel Day, Jordan Culp, and Carlos Rodriguez, and Zachary Fitzwater was just a meeting in the sandwich between Daniel Day and Jordan Culp. And Jordan Culp ends up going around, and he managed to save it. That was a great save on the part of Jordan Culp. No drivers really got any damage hardly at all. We luckily got away with just pretty much a 3-car incident / 1-car spinning. So that was very fortunate on their part that a 4-wide situation didn't turn into something really, really bad. And that was a great save for Jordan Culp in that 83. He also needs to get a good run after a couple races of not doing so well. But nonetheless, we're going to now take you back to the restart. And here we go. We are getting ready for the restart here on lap, when they come around, it'll be lap 9 when they come around for the restart, which will give us 25 laps to go here in the Golden Corral 500 here in Atlanta. Tommy Mooney decided to roll the dice and stay out, and he's going to be the leader. The first 4 cars stayed out, so it's Tommy Mooney the leader, then Chris Oliver, Noah Hart, and Chris Nelson. Those are the drivers who elected to stay out and take track position. The rest of the drivers pitted, however, so 5th's going to be Austin LaPlante, then Cole Daly, Cody Hagan, Austin Weiner, Jessica Sheldon, and Eric Burton as the top 10. Then it's Dylan Poteet, Cameron Bailey, Kyle Matthews, Michael Norman, Chris Washer, Dylan Young, Matt McIntyre, Ian Dutta, Chris Michaels, Danny Wells, Chris Dollarton, Barney Taylor, Nick Smith, Henrietta Fitzwater, Rue McIntyre, Henry Nova, Ian Siegel, Joshua Michaels, Cody Lamas, David Rivera, Sonny Hammond, Nathan Hudson, Charles Jackson, Charlie Rodriguez, Seth Cole, Dylan Thero, Carlos Rodriguez, Ibrahim, Trent Dunham, Zachary Fitzwater, Daniel Day, and Jordan Culp. Everybody's still on track after that caution. Now here we go, green flag racing at lap 9. Tommy Mooney didn't get quite a good jump on that restart as Chris Oliver is going to the inside to try to take the lead away, and as we saw, a 3-wide battle for 4th between Chris Nelson, Austin LaPlante, Cole Daly, and now Chris Oliver is going to take the lead away from Tommy Mooney. But wait, here comes Noah Hart to the inside. Noah Hart, can he lead this lap? No, Chris Oliver led that lap. And now Cole Daly with a full head of steam. He was getting shoved into that turn by Cody Hagan. And now Cole Daly might be taking the lead over. And I think he will. Sometimes drafting can help a car, but not a lot of the time. As now Cody Hagan's going to the... Whoa! Oh, we got a spin! Oh, keep it together, guys. Don't come back up. Don't come back up. Don't come back up. He did! He did, and he's going to collect drivers. Austin LaPlante, Dylan Poteet, Tommy Mooney get involved. Oh, and then Chris Washer, Matt McIntyre spin up ahead. Oh my word. And Chris Washer, the engine has expired on that car. Cody Hagan, Austin LaPlante were involved. Dylan Poteet got a little piece of that. Tommy Mooney the same. But Matt McIntyre, he's going to be a pretty big victim of this. As there's smoke coming out of the car, I believe he is going to retire. Let's keep an eye out on the 99 and the 48 to see if they're going to continue. I think they might be able to. We'll see. Let's keep an eye out for their pit stops here to make sure. I believe Cody Hagan might continue, although a buckle on the hood. Let's just check, double check to make sure. Oh, Cody Hagan's retired. Let's check up ahead for Austin LaPlante. And he's retired too. Man, that is a tough, tough break for both drivers, Cody Hagan and Austin LaPlante. Also for Chris Washer and Matt McIntyre. Now Cole Daly, there's drivers coming down pit road now, making second stops. Chris Oliver, a lot of those guys who stayed out are actually going to pit this time. We're actually going to go to our pit lane camera to make sure who's going to come out first. I guess somewhat of that strategy for Chris Nelson, Chris Oliver, and Noah Hart did kind of work. And actually Noah Hart's going to come out first, and Kyle Matthews, Chris Oliver, Kyle Matthews. So that was actually a smart move on the part of Chris Oliver, Noah Hart, and Chris Nelson to stay out in case a caution came out and they could be on the same sequence as everybody. And that way they can still have track position. So that was a smart move. And the guy who's going to get rewarded for it the most is the 56 of Noah Hart, as he's going to be the leader when we come to the restart. Now let's go to a replay to find out what happened to bring out the caution for the second time here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Well, here's a look at what happened. They were almost 4 wide coming off a 4. Jessica Shelton and Cody Hagan were racing pretty hard as Jessica got him loose. And then they just made contact, and Jessica Shelton and Cody Hagan go down through the infield. Jessica Shelton actually kept it together and got back on the track, blended in successfully, but look at Cody Hagan. Cuts up the track, gets in Austin LaPlante, Dylan Poteet, and Tommy Mooney. That is how those drivers got involved. Now let's keep an eye out, see if they come down and anybody got collected from that, if anybody at all. I believe that crash was pretty much fine. I guess that's a word I can say for it, but unfortunately Austin LaPlante and Cody Hagan were the biggest victims of that, as they both had to retire. And then we're going to take a look up ahead to see what happened to Chris Washer. Let's see what happens. Oh, it looked like he got turned. Well, let's see. They were all woeing down to slow down, and then, oh, Chris Washer came up right in front of Matt McIntyre, and that is a hard hit into that outside wall. And then Tommy Mooney gives Matt McIntyre a little bit of a shove right there. But yeah, we had a 6-car incident. One incident involving 4, and then another incident where drivers were trying to woe up and Chris Washer was trying to come back up the track. And he turns right in front of Matt McIntyre, and they both go to that outside wall really, really hard. We're actually going to go through a few onboards. The first onboard we're going to go through is the 11 of Jessica Shelton. Here we are on board with the 11 of Jessica Shelton, as she was the start of this crash. And there you see right there. Right there, right in front of her when Cody Hagan came back up the track. That's what triggered that big pileup. Now on board with the 99 of Cody Hagan. So that right there was not needed. He could have just slowed down and maybe just spin it out in the grass and not come back up and collect more drivers, but he thought he could come back up and blend in, but it didn't work out to the way he hoped. So that is a tough break for him. On board with the 48 of Austin LaPlante. That's right there. The turning happened right underneath him. And watch this. Whammo. Just nothing these drivers could do after that happened. The final on board is going to be with the 24 of Chris Washer, who came in second in points, trying to take the points lead. And then watch this. Hard hitting that outside wall, and that is, I think Chris Washer's going to be the biggest victim of all of this, because he came into this race only 3 points behind Charlie Rodriguez, and he was hoping to have possibly had the chance to take the points lead, but this happened, and now he's going to take a big hit in the points. But now we're going to take a look and go to the restart here at Atlanta. Well, here we go. We're getting ready to go green flag racing, and when they come around, it will be 18 laps to go. But Noah Hart is going to be the leader at this restart, and then it's going to be Kyle Matthews second, Chris Oliver third, Cole Daly fourth, Chris Nelson fifth. Then it's Michael Norman, Eric Burton, Cameron Bailey, Austin Weiner, and look at Trent Dunham working his way up the field, and he's in the top 10. Then it's Jessica Shelton, Chris Dollerton, Nathan Hudson, Dylan Young, and Ian Dutta, the top 15. Then it's Joshua Michaels, Danny Wells, David Rivera, Ian Siegel, Barney Taylor, Nick Smith, Rue McIntyre, Seth Cole, Chris Michaels, Cody Lamas, Daniel Day, Ibrahim Ibrahim, then Henry Nova, Sonny Hammond, Jordan Kolb, Zachary Fitzwater, Charles Jackson, Henrietta Fitzwater, Carlos Rodriguez, Dylan Thero, Charlie Rodriguez, Dylan Poteet, and Tommy Mooney. Those are the drivers who are still on track, and the drivers who have officially retired from the race are as followed: Matt McIntyre, Cody Hagan, Austin LaPlante, and Chris Washer. But I think a lot of people, Austin LaPlante particularly is not going to be happy with Cody Hagan after what happened right there. But we are green, and Noah Hart got a good jump, and he's going to hold the lead off from Kyle Matthews. As we see a battle for third that's raging on back here between Chris Oliver and Cole Daly, and now they're going to make it a battle for second. Whoa, and they almost crashed right there. Luckily, they saved it. It's going to be a three-car battle for second between Cole Daly, Chris Oliver, and Kyle Matthews. And now they're going to go three wide for that position as well. And now we see Eric Burton working his way up in there. So too is Cameron Bailey and Trent Dunham and Michael Norman. Two Childress cars are in this battle, and that's Kyle Matthews and Michael Norman. But meanwhile, while this is happening, trying to go up to Noah Hart. After all this happening, Noah Hart's pulling away from that battle as we are still green, and now Eric Burton's going to take second. So we got a Michael Waltrip 1-2 right now. And look at the guy in third, Cameron Bailey. After having poor finishes the last few weeks, he is looking to possibly get a good finish himself and move himself up higher in the points, as he's going underneath for second place over Eric Burton. And look at all these cars just going at it. I saw Charlie Rodriguez back there. Let's check up on the points leader to see where he's running. He's back here in the 30th position. The closest driver to get to him in the points would be Eric Burton now that Chris Washer crashed. We're going to go back to the leader, Noah Hart, who's still holding the lead off from Cameron Bailey and Eric Burton. We've been cleaning green for a little bit, so this is good. Let's keep an eye out on that light. And we are still green flag racing here. And when they come around, it will be 13 laps to go here in Atlanta. And we still got a great battle for second between Eric Burton and Cameron Bailey. And now Michael Norman's entering in this battle. And look who else is coming into the fray. And that's Jessica Shelton. She's trying to make a comeback up to the lead possibly. And look who's also behind her, Austin Weiner. He had a great finish of 6th last week at Las Vegas. He would hope to get something better this week, move himself up even higher in the points. He's currently in this race 10th in the points. Hopefully he can get himself up closer to the top 5. As Noah Hart continues to lead, Cameron Bailey, though, is inching his way, trying to cut that gap to get the lead. And now we are going to be 11 laps to go here at Hotlanta. Cameron Bailey is getting more and more closer to Noah Hart to try to take that lead away. What a celebration that would be if Cameron Bailey got himself a win after 3 poor finishes in a row and turn that luck around and start off with a win. That would be something very, very special, as we are now less than 10 laps to go here in Atlanta. Now Cameron Bailey's going to go to the inside. Can he take the lead away from Noah Hart is the question. And Michael Norman's going to peek down low. So too Austin Weiner underneath Eric Burton. And now Cameron Bailey, he's going to get the lead, but I don't know if he can quite clear him at the moment. But he will lead that lap. And I think he's going to clear him now. Now here comes Michael Norman to second, and Austin Weiner, Kyle Matthews. Man, we got a 7-car battle possibly for the lead. Cameron Bailey, Michael Norman, Austin Weiner, Noah Hart, Kyle Matthews, Jessica Shelton, Nick Smith, Eric Burton, and now Danny Wells is inching his way as Michael Norman's going to get the lead. And he almost got turned by Austin Weiner, but they saved it. Great job. And Michael Norman, this would be something great if he could win. And as we see Danny Wells sneaking his way, we got 3 Richard Childress cars in the top 10 right now. So Childress cars are doing very, very well at the moment. Let's go up ahead to see, yeah, Tommy Mooney, he's not up to speed after that crash. And Dylan Poteet, somewhat up to speed. I'm not sure about him, but those are the only 2 Childress cars who aren't doing very well, while every other Childress car is doing very, very well in this race. And now look who's in second, Jessica Shelton. And so now Nick Smith coming into the picture, so too is Cole Daly, as it will now be 6 laps to go here in Atlanta. Nick Smith coming to the inside. And look at Barney Taylor coming in. Man, Noah Hart lost a lot of positions. So too did Cameron Bailey. And now look at Charlie Rodriguez. Where did he come from? He's up to the 13th position. We saw him like about 8 laps ago in like 30th. And look who else is coming up there. Charles Jackson, who was back in that mess too. Man, these guys are just racing really, really well, as Michael Norman still holds the lead over Nick Smith. And now here comes Cole Daly to the inside, and now Barney Taylor's entering the picture, and Noah Hart's making a comeback run, as it will now be 4 to go here in Atlanta, and we are still green flag racing. This is great. Barney Taylor trying to take second away from Cole Daly. Hell, he finished second at Las Vegas. He would hope to maybe get another good run, and so far he's having a good day. But look at Charlie Rodriguez coming up there. He's up to, let's see where he's going to be scored. 8th place, so he's having a very good comeback run. And now Cole Daly's trying to inch his way up to Michael Norman as we're 2.5 laps to go Here in Atlanta now, there goes Cole Dally to the inside of Michael Norman. This is a battle for the lead, and Barney Taylor trying to close in that picture. And I think I saw drivers come down pit road. Hold on a second. We'll go back to this as we're 2 laps to go. Yeah, drivers are coming down pit road. I see Dylan Poteet. I believe I see Cameron Bailey. Oh, this is going to come into question if whether these drivers are going to be able to make it on fuel. Let's keep an eye out up here, as Cole Dally still holds the lead, and he's not coming down the pit road, as he's going to take the white flag. White flag is out here in Atlanta Motor Speedway for the Golden Corral 500. Can he make it the rest of the way, as Barney Taylor has just taken second away from Michael Norman? Now Cole Dally's going to encounter lap traffic if he's going to stay out. Let's check. He is going to stay out, so he's going to make it the rest of the way. Cole Dally off of 4. Cole Dally is going to win the Golden Corral 500 at Atlanta. Wow. Great performance by that 88 of Cole Dally. Great job. Wow. We saw some fantastic racing after that last caution came out. We had some fantastic racing going on during those final laps. But man, oh man, that was a hell of a performance from Cole Dally. Was up towards the front, then he got a little bit towards mid-pack after pit stops happened and cautions came out, but he managed to come back and get himself the win here in Atlanta. But anyways, we're going to take a look at the official finishing results, and I'll get to that in a second once I take a drink of water. Alright, Cole Dally, great job on the part of that 88 team. Got him off of pit road good, and he had a fast car, and he got himself to the lead and managed to get himself a win. Look at Barney Taylor, 2nd week in a row, 2nd place. Great job for Barney Taylor. Keep an eye out on that 15 car. He could be a potential factor for another win, for a win in the upcoming weeks. Keep an eye out on that 15, as he is doing very well now. Nick Smith, great run, a 3rd for him. And look at 4th, the points leader, Charlie Rodriguez, will get 4th place. Great job. Hell, at one point on like lap 20, he was 30th, and he somehow made his way one by one through traffic and got himself a 4th place finish. Hell, I believe if maybe we had a couple more laps, he maybe could have challenged Cole Dally for the win, and that would have been interesting. And then coming away in 5th place is going to be Eric Burton. Great run for him, as he will gain a lot over Chris Washer, but he will actually lose a point to Charlie Rodriguez. And we'll take a look at the points at the end of this race/video. And look at Austin Weiner. Great run of 6 for him. That's 2 weeks in a row he's finished 6th place. Keep an eye out for him. He could be a potential factor for a win as well. Kyle Matthews, great job finishing 7th. 8th, Jessica Sheldon. She's starting to inch her way up the point standings to try to get a win. And look at Seth Cole. Came into this race dead last in the points. He gets himself a top 10 finish. Great run for Seth Cole. He desperately needed a good run, as he came into this race dead last in the points. And then rounding out the top 10 is the 21 of Chris Oliver. Another great run for him. He's going to be a potential championship. He's going to be a championship favorite, possibly, as he is at this moment in the chase for this win, for the win he had at Rockingham, UK. But if he can get another win, he'll be pretty much a lock for the chase. Let's take a look at the rest of the results. Trent Dunham, great run of 11th for him. David Rivera, 12th place, great job for him. And then 13th, Dylan Young. 14th, Joshua Michaels, great run for him. Daniel Day 15th, Henrietta Fitzwater gets 16th, and Michael Norman, he had to come down pit road after being the leader for a little bit, and he had to come down pit road. So tough break. He's going to get 17th after he had a winning car. Then Dylan Thero 18th, Chris Nelson 19th, and Nathan Hudson rounds up the top 20. And then the rest of the cars were a lap or more down due to pit stops or being retired from the race. Cameron Bailey 21st, and then it's Noah Hart, Charles Jackson, Danny Wells, Cody Lamas, Chris Dollerton, Rue McIntyre, Sonny Hammond, Ian Dutta, Ian Siegel, Ibrahim, Henry Nova, Chris Michaels, Carlos Rodriguez, Zachary Fitzwater. And then two cars who were 2 laps down were Dylan Poteet and Tommy Mooney. And Jordan Culp actually ended up 8 laps down. I'm not sure as to what happened to him to make him be 8 laps down. Maybe he must have had an engine failure or something. Because no caution came out after that incident with Cody Hagan. But yeah, and then the rest of the drivers out of the race, and they were Matt McIntyre, Cody Hagan, Austin LaPlante, and Chris Washer. So that is a look at your finishing results here in Atlanta Motor Speedway for the Golden Corral 600. Thank you guys for tuning in to race number 4 of NASCAR Walmart Cup Series. Next stop, the fastest half mile of them all, Bristol.